Good morning friends, welcome back to Parnika tutorials. In this video, I want to discuss about numeric functions and character functions in SQL. These functions are useful in select statement to retrieve the data from the table. So I sincerely request everyone to watch the complete video for better understanding. First, let me discuss about the numeric functions, then I will discuss about the character functions. We have various numeric functions such as mod, which will give you the remainder. Suppose if I say mod of 5, 2, then if I divide 5 by 2, what will be the remainder? You will get a remainder as 1. If you want to perform the round, then you have the round function. So the round function is useful for you to compute the round value. Suppose if I have 34.456 and I want to round off to 2 decimals, then it will give you the value as 34.35 because you are saying round off to 2 decimals. The third decimal is what? 5. If it is greater than or equal to 5, then this digit will be incremented by 1. So 34 will become as 35. Suppose if I have a round of 43.34 to 5 is there and I want to round off to 2 digits, then it will be 43.34 because the third decimal number is 2, which is less than 5. So that's why it will be the 34 only. Suppose if I use the trunc function, we have another function which is useful for you to truncate the value. Suppose if I say 34.3456 and I want to truncate to 2 decimals, then it will give you the value as 34.34. Whatever the up to second decimal is there, up to that value it will give. Suppose if I say trunc 43.3425 and I want to truncate up to 2 decimals, then it will be 43.34. Here it is 43 point. So the round function is useful for you to round off the value. The trunc function is useful for you to trunc the values or truncate the values. So similarly, you have another function called absolute. This function is useful for you to give the absolute value. Suppose if I say ABS of minus 19, then it will give you the 19 as an output. Similarly, if I give ABS of 20, then absolute of 20 is 20. So if you give the negative number, it will give a positive number. If you give a positive number, it will always give the positive number. So whatever the input, whether it is a negative number or a positive number, the output will always be a positive number. Similarly, we have another function called seal. This seal function is useful for you to seal the value. Suppose if I say 3.46, if I do the sealing, it will give the value as 4. Suppose if I say seal of 3.2, then also it will give you the value as 4. So next integer value it will give. Now if I say floor, it will be reverse. Suppose if I say floor of 3.46, then it will give you the value as 3. Similarly, if I say floor of 3.2, then also it will give you the value as 3. Then we have another function called greatest. The greatest function is useful for you to compute the maximum number from the given number. Suppose if I say 2, 3, 4, 5, 78, which is the largest number? 78 is the largest number. Similarly, we have another function called least function, which will be useful for you to find the minimum value. Suppose if I give the numbers as 2, 3, 4, 5, 78, what is the smallest number? 2. So it will give the output as 2. Similarly, we have another function called power function or POW, which is useful for you to compute the power. Suppose if I give x comma y, then it will compute the x to the power y value. Suppose, let me give an example. POW 2 comma 3, then it will give the 2 power 3 value, which is 8. Similarly, if I give POW 3 comma 5, then 3 to the power 5, 3 to the power 5 is what? 27 into 9. Okay, what is the 27 into 9? 9 sevens are 63, so you will have 3, and then you have 6, 9 twos are 18, so 243 value you will get. 81 into 3 is 243. Similarly, you have the square root function, which is useful for you to compute the square root. Suppose if I say 49, what is the square root of 49? Is 7. Suppose if I give square root of 64, what is the square root? Which is 8. So like this, it will give the output for you. So these are the various numeric functions are there in the SQL. All these things we will discuss practically in SQL Plus. Now first we will discuss about the mod function. Now let me write select mod of 5 comma 2 from dual. So dual is a dummy table. Here you need to complete the syntax. What is the syntax for the select statement? Select whatever the thing, like if you want to give all the attributes, then you can give star. If you want to give few attributes, you can mention. But here what I am mentioning here, a numeric function, then from I need to provide the table name, right? I cannot provide any existing table, so I'm giving a dummy table. Then it will give the output as reminder 1. So you can see we got the output as 1. Suppose if you want to compute the modulus on some value which is there in a particular attribute in a table, then you can mention mod of that attribute comma something, then from the table name. Those things also you can do. Again, let me write select mod of 10 comma 4. Now if you divide 10 by 4, then you will get the remainder as 2. So mod function will give you the remainder. Now we will discuss about the round function. So round 34.3456, and I want to round off to 2 decimals. Then as I said earlier, we'll get the output as 34.35. You can verify it. Similarly, if I write select round of 34.3426 and I want to round off to 2 from the dummy table called dual. In this case, it will give the output as 34.34. Okay, because the third decimal is less than 5 because it is a 2. I hope you have understood the round. Now let me discuss about the trunc function, which is useful for you to truncate the value. So I will give 34.3456 and I want to truncate to 2 decimals from the dual table. Now you can see 34.34. Whatever the third decimal, whether it is less than 5 or greater than 5, it does not bother. Similarly, if I give select trunc trunc 34.3426 of 2 from dual. Now also it will give the output as 34.34. I hope you have understood the mod, round, trunc. Now let me discuss about the absolute function. Suppose if I give minus 10. As I said earlier, if you give the input a negative number or positive number, the absolute function will always return a positive value. See, we got the output as 10. Similarly, if I give ABS of 10 from dual, now it is a positive value, so the output also will be a positive value. So whether the input is a negative number or a positive number, always the output will be a positive number. Now we will discuss about the CEIL. If I write 3.46 from dual, then you can see we will get the output as 4. Similarly, if I write select CEIL of 4.2 from dual, okay, now also it will give the output as 5. So whether it is greater than or equal to 5 or less than 5, it does not matter. 3 point something, then it will always give the value as 4. The next nearest integer, okay, will be displayed as an output, whereas floor will be reverse. Look at here, if I write floor of 3.46 from dual, then it will give the output as 3. Similarly, if I write select floor of 4.2 from dual, then it will give the output as 4. This is the difference between the ceil and the floor function. Now let me discuss about the greatest. I will write select greatest of 2, 3, 4, 78 from dual. What is the greatest number or the largest number here? 78. So 78 will be displayed as an output. Similarly, if I write select least of 2, 3, 4, 5, 78 from dual, then it will give the smallest number, which is 2, as an output. Now we will discuss about the POW function. If I give 2, 3 from dual, then it will compute the 2 power 3 value, which is 8. Okay, what happened? POW invalid identifier. Let me verify. POWR 2, 3 from dual. We have POWER, not POW. I am really sorry for it. Okay, if you want to verify, let me write select power 3, 5. Then you should get the output as 243. Similarly, if I want to compute the square root, then I can write select SQRT of 49 from dual, then it will give the output as 7. Similarly, if I write select SQRT of 65, I will give. Okay, then we can verify what will be the output. If it is 64, you will get 8. If I say 65, 8.0622, if I give perfect square number like 16, then it will give the output as an integer, which is 4. I hope you have understood all the numeric functions. Okay, let me modify here. It is power function, not POW. Now we will discuss about the character functions. We have various character functions like LOWER, which will be lowercase character of the string. Suppose if I give lower and if I give the input as uppercase, then it will give the output in the lowercase, which is Parnika. Similarly, the reverse will be upper. The upper function will give the uppercase output. Suppose if I give Parnika in the lowercase, then it will give the output in the uppercase, which is Parnika. Similarly, we have another method called INIT cap. This method will give you the first character in every word should be in uppercase. It will give, suppose if I give Parnika tutorials, then what the output it will give is P will be capital letters, remaining R, A, N, I, K, A will be in lowercase, then again T will be in uppercase. So every word, first character, it will make it in the uppercase. Similarly, we have another method called length. It is useful for you to compute the number of characters in a string. Okay, suppose if I give length of Parnika, then how many characters are there? You can see total 7 characters are there, which is P, A, R, N, I, K, A. So it will give you the number of characters is there in the string. If you want to concat 2 strings, then you can use the function called CONCAT. If I write Parnika, tutorials, 2 strings should be given as an input, then it will perform the concatenation. It will give as Parnika tutorials. So these are the character functions are there. What is the use of this function? Suppose why I have to do the lower. Suppose look at here. We says that SQL is not a case sensitive language, but if you enter the strings, the Parnika is in the capital letters, the Parnika in the lower case will be different. And when I am retrieving the information from the table, I don't know the strings are there in the uppercase or lowercase. If you want to verify, look at here. I will write select star from EMP table. Now you can see we have Ford, Miller. Now Ford is there what in the capital letters. If I write select ename comma job from emp table, where ename is equal to, if I write capital letters Ford, then it will give the output as ename as Ford and job is analyst. The same thing if I write select ename job from emp, where ename is equal to, in lowercase if I write Ford, then you can see what will happen. No rows are selected. So I want to retrieve the information of the Ford, but I don't know whether the data is stored in the capital letters or in the lowercase letters. Now if you see, as it is stored in the uppercase, we got the output. When we provided in the lowercase, we did not got the output. So in this case, the character functions will be useful. So what I will do here is select ename comma job from emp, where I will write lower of ename is equal to, I will write now in the Ford in the lowercase. So whether the ename is there in the uppercase or lowercase, when you have used the lower function, the ename will become in the lowercase, means all the employee names will be converted into lowercase. Then you are comparing a string called Ford in the lowercase. Then you can see we got the output as employee name and job as Ford and analyst. So this is the use of the lower function. Not only in the where class, even you can give in this attributes list also. See, look at here, I will write select lower of ename comma lower of job from emp, let me end with semicolon. Now you can see all the employee names and jobs were displayed in the lower case. If I does not provide the lower, if I simply write ename comma job from emp table, if you have stored them in the uppercase, it will be displayed in the uppercase. If you have stored them in the lowercase, it will display in the lowercase. But you can see, as the data has been stored in the uppercase, all the data has been displayed in the uppercase, like Smith is in the uppercase, clerk in the uppercase. But if I am converting into lowercase, then the data will be converted into lowercase and displayed as an output. Now if I want to use the upper of Parnika in the lower case, and then I will provide from dual, which is a dummy table. Now you can see Parnika has been displayed as output in capital letters. You can use the aliasing also, because here the attribute name as given as upper something. You can use upper of Parnika tutorials as a string as name from dual. Now you can see name is the attribute name has been displayed and Parnika. So this is what aliasing. Already I have discussed this aliasing concept. Now I want to discuss about the init cap. So I will write select init cap of, I will give Parnika tutorials as name from dual. Now you will get Parnika tutorials where P and T will be in uppercase. You can verify P is in uppercase and tutorials T is capital letters. Now when we have discussed about wildcard characters, if you want to display a characters of length 5, then how we have written? We have written like this: select ename from emp, where where ename like I have provided 5 single underscores. Okay, I hope I have given 5 single underscores. You can see we got the output as Smith, Allen, Jones, Black, Clark, Scott, Adams, James has been displayed as an output. This one we can rewrite using the length function. You can verify. I will write select ename from emp, where length function I will give, and the attribute name I will give as ename, and I will give 5. So now also you can verify the employee names whose length of the string is 5. So 5 characters are there that has been displayed as an output. If you want to display the employee names whose length of the characters is equal to 4. Then you can see Ward, King, Ford has been displayed as an output. So this is the beauty of the length function. And when we have discussed about the concatenation, means two attributes, if we want to concat, we have written like this: e name, then we have used the logical or and single quotes, give a space, single quotes, then I have given job from emp. So now you can see it has been concated. This one we can do with the help of concat function also. I will give concat e name comma job as name from emp. Okay, what happened? Invalid number of arguments. Oh, we given full stop here. Let me modify it. Okay, e name comma job, and here concat, the both the attributes should be of string type only, means which is varchar only. Now you can see it has been concated. Now while we are concating, earlier we have given the space, that's why we got Smith space Clark, but here without space it will be given as an output. With this one, I hope you have understood all the numeric functions and character functions. If you still have any doubts related to this concept, feel free to ask me in the comment section. I will try to clear your doubts as early as possible. Thank you for watching the complete video. Have a nice day.